Hello everyone, welcome to Season 1, Episode 1 of the Once Upon a Time in Wonderland podcast, Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm your host Dom, and with me I have Umi, Mike, and Clio. I'm trying to figure out where you guys are all so I could point to you properly. Clio, down that way. Okay, perfect. So, what did you guys think of the episode for the premiere?
I liked it. Definitely had one of the better shows premieres I've watched. So far, American Horror Story was the best. This was second best in my ranking. I enjoyed it, especially the part with the Cheshire Cat. It was just
Yes, Cheshire Cat was awesome in this one.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you guys expect to actually see it tied to Storybrooke, or did you think they were going to steer clear from that since it was a spin-off?
I had no idea.
Did I expect it? Like, was I really expecting it? No, but am I surprised? No, at the same time, I'm not. I figured they had to throw a little bit in there just to keep it going. Yeah, just to tie them together a little bit. So, you know, you're in the same universe, but I mean, how many shows have, you know, Disney characters and fairy tale characters coinciding with normal people?
Yeah. Cleo?
Yeah, I was surprised that the Knave of Hearts was from Storybrooke. But I went to the New York City Comic-Con panel for Once Upon a Time, and they were talking a lot about Wonderland. And so I saw that before I actually saw the episode.
Hmm.
So I knew that they were tying it into Storybrooke.
Nice.
Oops.
Yeah, I kind of suspected early on that was going to be the case because it's sharing the same name, Once Upon a Time. So if they didn't tie it in someplace, it would have felt weird to me. But so we see in the beginning of the episode, you see the Knave of Hearts bump into one of the Seven Dwarves. I always forget his name, and Riding Hood.
It was Grumpy.
Grumpy and Riding Hood, right?
No, it was Grumpy and is that Cinderella?
It was a blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think it's Cinderella.
Was it Cinderella?
Yeah. I
Okay.
forget her Storybrooke name.
Yeah. So you see them bump into each other, and they're still friendly at this point. So I'm trying to figure out where in the timeline this actually took place. Where do you guys actually think it was?
They talked about it at the panel, and
Okay.
now I'm forgetting. But this is before Emma got there. It's before Emma breaks the curse, at least.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if it's before Emma gets there.
Okay.
I forget. I gotta go check the footage that I took when I was at the panel, but
No,
it's definitely before the curse breaks.
My question, timeline-wise, is what year is it that Alice is in that asylum? Because the tools they're using are ancient. They're talking about a lobotomy like it's a brand new procedure.
They're in the for Alice. She's in the time period that Alice was written. So
Okay.
is that like 1800s?
We have late 1800s or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
so that makes
that's
sense.
that's the England that Alice is from. Yeah. That's why this is the solution. It's a lobotomy. Let me get this big drill. You'll feel better.
They're gonna get this big hand drill and we're gonna drill into her skull.
Yeah, so this is pre-curse breaking in Storybrooke. We don't know what year this is taking place in Storybrooke itself, because at this point, if the curse is not broken, Storybrooke is still caught in a time loop. So they're going around and around and around and around, right? Or is this now broken because Emma is there? I forget now. This is really, really confusing. Because, all right, so we have the Storybrooke thing going on in its own little time zone. We have Alice being taken place in the Victorian era, and we have Wonderland in its own time. So the Victorian era is not going on with present day. So Storybrooke eventually is in our present day when the curse is broken. You're able to cross over things like that, and people have cell phones and different things like that. So the Victorian era and that can't be going on at the same time. So it's almost as if the rabbit himself is using some form of time travel to go between worlds. Because England is in our universe, which technically Storybrooke is in Maine, which is also in our universe. So Alice had to be back in the past.
Yeah, I feel like the rabbit's his rabbit hole, you know, dig your hole. That's not just world jumping; it's time travel.
Yeah.
He's
I totally get a Doctor Who feel from the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would make sense because the White Rabbit is always, you know, in the original cartoon. I'm late for a very important date, and he has a watch, and he's always obsessed with being on time. So, being a time traveler fits.
Yeah.
It does, but it doesn't. That's always been the one thing about time travel that's irritated me to no end. You are controlling and manipulating time. You can never be late.
But other people can be late if you pop up before they do.
Okay. So, this was also something reoccurring from Back to the Future, where he's like, hurry up, we gotta get back, we gotta go to something wrong with your kids, and they go, he's controlling the time they start. He could go back 5 minutes. If they're running 5 minutes late, he just starts 5 minutes sooner. He goes back 5 minutes sooner. So the same with the rabbit. If he's late to get somewhere, go through the rabbit hole. Come back out 5 minutes sooner. I never understood that.
You can't cross your own timeline, man. You can't do that.
It's time travel. You could do whatever you want.
There's still rules to time travel.
Oh, okay. So we have to establish the rules of the rabbit's time travel. So if he has time travel, which I think we all suspect to a degree, if they reveal that that's the case, I think they need to start setting some ground rules for that to make a little more sense. So do you think the rabbit himself is actually just digging these holes? Because I know the Knave of Hearts directly said to him, dig, and he's like, right here? Is he doing that himself? Is that his power, or does he have like some kind of tool? Do you think, like Mike brought up, is it the stopwatch that allows him to travel through time, or what?
I think that's plausible. He could also have magic. It could be a form of magic, his time travel. Like Hatter's hat.
So do you think we're going to see him pull a rabbit out of his hat?
Rabbit's not wearing a hat, so the rabbit can't pull a rabbit out of his hat.
No. If the Mad Hatter ever comes back, do you think we'll see him pull the rabbit out of his hat?
I really want him to come back.
Yeah, I think we all do. See, I expected the role of the Mad Hatter to actually be recast when Sebastian Stan said he was reportedly too busy with Captain America and some of the other projects he's been working on. So,
I thought that was him.
So, what do you guys think of them potentially doing Wonderland without the Mad Hatter? Because I read an interview now that they said the director refuses to recast the Mad Hatter, and if Sebastian is not able to make an appearance in Wonderland, there will be no Mad Hatter.
I think that's a bold move for a director.
Yeah.
Because I would prefer that, honestly, to them recasting, saying, "Oh yeah, this is the same guy. Just trust us." You know? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Trust us.
I 100% agree. I cannot stand when people recast roles. So if he is not able to come back as the Mad Hatter, I don't want a Mad Hatter.
Yeah, because he was such a great Mad Hatter. Like,
yeah.
So hopefully his schedule's cleared up. Maybe he won't make it in the first season, maybe not the second season, but hopefully when his schedule clears up, we'll eventually see him. He does bring quite a different change to the element of Wonderland, and you know, every telling of Wonderland has the Mad Hatter in it. So I personally can't picture one without him, but they did explain it very well, his absence, and if we have to have one without him, I think it'll be alright.
For now, anyways.
Yeah. So Alice spent so much time in the asylum telling her story, retelling it, telling it over and over and over and over again. What do you think actually went through the doctor's head when the rabbit pops his head into the asylum? He just walks around the corner and the doctor sees him. Like,
that he sniffed one of the medicines in the laboratory too much or something.
I think that's a, completely mind-blanketing moment.
Yeah,
where you just nothing to think.
Just, wow, the crazy's rubbing off on me.
yeah. So I know that there was a sneak preview version of Wonderland that actually aired. I don't think any of us actually got a chance to catch it. But from what I understand is the rabbit hole was dug in Alice's cell in that particular telling of it. So they had changed it before it went live. I think it worked a little bit better this way because they were able to do the reveal with the doctor seeing the rabbit, which I don't think would have been nearly as plausible. If the rabbit just busted into the cell, it would have been a little more awkward. So, I don't know. But, so, what do you guys think about the Knave of Hearts? They introduced him really early in. He was like the first character we see. We see him in Storybrooke, and then it's kind of revealed to us that he goes back to Wonderland with Alice, and he doesn't want to, but she convinces him to go back. And what do you think he actually did to become this wanted man in Wonderland?
Who knows? He's wanted currently by the Red Queen. So he obviously did something to piss her off, and he's the Knave of Hearts, so he was around, you know, in the court of the Queen of Hearts, likely. I don't know. Maybe he killed somebody. Maybe he's wanted just for, you know, gallivanting around with Alice at one point or another.
Well, from what I know of other versions of the Knave of Hearts, he's kind of like the Queen's bitch. Like, he does her dirty work, sort of. And it seems like, from what the dialogue has said, he's pissed off both sides. So it sounds like he's done bad things to the people of Wonderland, but he also got his heart back, and he left the kingdom, so he pissed off the Queen. So he's like, everybody sort of hates him now. Sounds like he has no place in Wonderland.
So, speaking of the Queen, we have Cora, who she was the Queen of Hearts, I believe, right? So now we have the Red Queen introduced in Wonderland.
Yeah.
So in the Lewis Carroll version, we have the Queen of Hearts is in Alice in Wonderland, and then through the Looking Glass is when we're introduced to the Red Queen. So, do you think there's a connection between the Red Queen and the Queen of Hearts at all?
I know the actual answer to that, because
Okay.
I was at the panel. They actually said that Cora's gonna make an appearance.
Perfect.
Because his exact words was the Red Queen had to learn it from somewhere.
Yeah, that's what my thoughts were.
Yeah.
That the Red Queen was some sort of apprentice of the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, and I know it was said that the Queen of Hearts is more spontaneous, and I forget how it was worded, but she's like the embodiment of government, where the Red Queen is pretty much her polar opposite, but on the same side of the spectrum as her. Like, their traits are they're both evil, so to speak, but their traits are completely reversed, and they value one thing over the other differently, but they have like the same kind of mentality.
So one likes the quick approach with cutting off their heads, and the other one likes to throw them in a dungeon and torture them.
Exactly. So
yeah.
That kind of fits very well with Cora and the Red Queen. Did she have an actual name? I don't remember now.
No.
It wasn't revealed yet. It's still the Red Queen.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we've seen the Red Queen now. We know the Queen of Hearts exists. Do you think we're going to see the White Queen this season?
Hopefully. I think that would be good, giving Alice another ally.
Mm-hmm.
Because she does have two villains to face. It's not just the Red Queen, it's Jafar also.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So having another ally, especially someone as powerful as White Queen, probably do some good.
Yeah. So Alice's entire reason for going into Wonderland in the first place is because it's revealed through her backstory that she falls in love with the genie. And Silas? Is it the genie? Cyrus.
Yeah.
Too many shows. I'm confusing names at this point. Cyrus. And Cyrus is alluded to be the genie of the lamp from Aladdin. And Jafar also being the villain for Aladdin. What are they doing in Wonderland? How did they get there?
No idea.
I know the answer. because I saw the first 8 minutes of
Go ahead.
this episode. Did I ruin it?
Cleo's got all the answers.
I do. I feel bad because it is a spoiler.
How deep into it is it spoiling? It's the next episode spoiler?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll save this for the very, very end of the episode. So people that don't want to be spoiled, they can just end the episode early. So we'll come back to that. So, Agrabah, it was mentioned. It exists. Is it another realm? Is it a part of Wonderland? Like, what exactly is it? And do you think we're going to see some of the other characters, like Aladdin and Jasmine?
I feel like we're probably going to see it, because we're going to see more about Jafar, and Jafar, you know, he's got the carpet. He probably hops around all the time. But as far as Aladdin and Jasmine, maybe not yet. Like, I feel like they're large characters that would probably take up a lot of screen.
At this point, I would see Aladdin and Jasmine as Aurora and Philip from Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
They're just meaningless at this point.
Either that or they're dead. I had the theory
yeah, Aladdin's my favorite.
Jafar is after the genie. Jafar has control of the carpet and all that stuff. Maybe the traditional Aladdin story we know was playing out, and in the end, instead of what actually was supposed to happen, Jafar just killed Aladdin and Jasmine and won. And, the bad guy won in that story.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
See...
But Mike, good always wins. Haven't you been watching the show?
See, I think Agrabah is actually another realm. I think that the carpet may have, and Jafar is a sorcerer as well, so he may have a way to transcend worlds as well. And the genie may have accidentally gotten there through Jafar. Jafar may have lost it, whatever the case may be. Jafar is definitely on the search for the lamp. Like, we've already pretty much assumed that. I think they came outright and said it at that point too. But I think we're going to see more of a Once Upon a Time kind of feel to it. If Agrabah is something that they explore, it's going to be a season that kind of revolves around it. They might leave Wonderland for a little bit. They might go to Agrabah. That's where we'll bump into Aladdin and Jasmine. It'll be kind of like what Once Upon a Time is doing currently with Neverland.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
I think that's probably going to be the feel for that. So toward the end of the episode, we see Alice climb up into the tree. She's scouting out, trying to get a bigger view. The Knave of Hearts grabs her boots, which is revealed that Alice still has 3 wishes. But the wishes have to be granted, so somebody can't take him. He didn't know that. But out of good faith, he comes back, only to find Alice is being cornered by the Cheshire Cat. Cheshire Cat is now very vicious and wants to eat Alice. So, what happened to the Cheshire Cat? This is not the same Cheshire Cat I remember.
Yeah, I mean, the Cheshire Cat's always been something that's very creepy, but I feel like Alice did, like, dicked him over somehow. He's mad at her for something specific.
And he's hungry.
The Tolji Woods, he said, has been kind of cleared out for prey, so he doesn't really have much to feed off of anymore. So he's just going insane, even more insane than he was. So he just wants to eat it all. Even if it's Alice, he'll eat her.
Delicious.
Yeah.
See, now they ended up shrinking the Cheshire Cat down, and he got smaller size and then ran off. So that started. I started thinking, if he ate something that made him bigger, right? So he could be more ferocious. We know stuff exists because he just ripped a mushroom off the ground and threw it into the Cheshire Cat's mouth that shrunk him down. So we know stuff exists out in the world where you can change your size. From a logistics point of view, what I would do is I would make sure that I'm big and frightful when I wanted to be, but I'd have a supply of these items that would make me smaller, so when I did come across a food source, I'd shrink myself down. So I'd shrink myself down further than I normally was, so I could eat the food. There'd be plenty of it. I'd be stuffed. Wouldn't be worried about scarce food, and then I'd make myself grow again.
Well, I feel like the thing with that is that's sort of like on Ant-Man physics there. If you fill your stomach when you're small and then you grow big, that's the same amount of food. The food doesn't get bigger. Your stomach gets bigger. So it's a different ratio of once you get bigger. I don't think that would work. It would work if you stayed small.
Their clothes change size with them.
Yeah, well...
Why wouldn't the contents of their stomach?
Yeah, guess magic's different than superheroes.
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of unanswered questions we have with time travel and how magic physics work. So
yeah, because this is a different land. It's not going to work like the Enchanted Forest.
Yeah, so maybe they will set some ground rules for us and hopefully not pull a Back to the Future and completely by the second movie botch up their own rules that they set. So yeah. Before we get into the spoilers, any final thoughts on this episode?
Definitely gonna watch this coming next episode.
Plentiful use of green screen.
Oh gosh, yes.
Some of the backgrounds, obvious green screen is obvious.
It's Once Upon a Time.
I know, but
obvious green screen is always going to be obvious.
Yeah, it's been that way through the whole series of Once Upon a Time. Like Jack and the Beanstalk's house, very, very blue screen. Like for what they have to work with their budget, it's not surprising. They're not doing a terrible job, but it's fairly obvious. But what can you do? It's better than a lot of other shows that I've seen that use blue screen. So, all right, so that concludes the current segment of the podcast, but I'm going to go ahead. So anybody who does not want any actual spoilers following the next episode, and that includes you too, Umi, Mike, if you guys want to take your headsets off, go for it. I don't care. We'll let Clio spoil the next episode for everybody.
Well, it's not the whole next episode. It's just the beginning of the next episode, but
spoil away.
All right, so the lamp...
Umi over there, she's all caught up in Pokemon. She's just tuning you out right now.
That's fine. The lamp ends up in Wonderland because Jafar is looking for it, and this shop owner has it, and he wishes the lamp away so that Jafar will go away. And he just wishes it as far away as it'll go, and it goes to Wonderland. Okay. That was the only part of the question, right? That
yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it just flies and ends up in Wonderland.
Interesting. So, the shopkeep. Do you know anything more about the shopkeep? Is it going to be like is the shopkeep from Agrabah? Do we know that? Like
yes. You see Agrabah. That's where Jafar's looking for the lamp.
So is this essentially going to be the same shopkeep that you see at the beginning of the movie Aladdin that is also voiced by Robin Williams?
No, he's not nearly as charming.
No.
Oh.
He doesn't have that Robin Williams voice either, I'm assuming.
No. Sort of a bit of a coward.
Yeah.
They needed Robin Williams to do a voiceover for that show instead of John Lithgow.
I think John Lithgow's okay.
He's alright,
yeah,
but
fine.
He's the White Rabbit, right?
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys think of him versus real quick, even though we already said we were done with this thing. Him versus Pee Wee Herman was originally supposed to be the voice of the White Rabbit.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't...
That was recast.
That'd be really annoying.
Yeah, you think so?
I think so.
I wouldn't even know how that would sound.
It's been so long since I've seen a Pee Wee Herman movie.
Yeah.
But even then, if he acts it differently, his voice will sound different.
Yeah. This is true. Alright, so until next week, you guys could follow us on youtube.com/ASOTV podcast for some more of your favorite podcasts. But, Umi, where can the people follow you?
On Twitter, at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Mike?
On Twitter at Philidren, THILLADREN.
And Clio?
Follow me on most social media as Cliomoto, CLIOMOTO, and you can follow me on YouTube at LIOSMFVIDS. Rolls off the tongue, very easy to find.
It does. I got that down. I memorized it.
Good.
All right. Till next week. See you guys later.